Welcome to Heart Devotion. Today's topic is, you are not wrong. Haven't we all had this thought before? I'm wrong. Something is wrong with me. Some have this thought every hour, others in phases. Unfortunately, these thoughts lead us into a downward spiral. If we think this negative thought, then we feel the associated feelings and act accordingly. If we think we are wrong, then insecurities arise, self-rejection, self-criticism, and the effects are either giving up and resignation, or perfectionism or comparisons. If success is striven for, it is often not really valued at all, because success cannot fill the void in the heart. It cannot take the root of the wrong view of oneself. Comparing oneself in envy say, I'm wrong. Something is wrong with me. But that is the biggest lie that has existed since the beginning of time. Let's look at Cain and Abel. Cain was jealous of Abel, and this led to murder. His lack of self-acceptance had drastic effects. Cain must have thought he was wrong and acted according to those thoughts. Let's look at crimes. Many are based on envy. I want what others have because I'm wrong. And if I have what others have, then I'm right. But that is not true. You can see it in the rich and beautiful. They set an example for us. They who have everything but mostly seem dissatisfied compare themselves to those of their own kind. We are fed and bombarded with this lie everywhere. Advertisements and pictures. Our young children are so influenced and grow up with this lie. Parents who grew up with lies in the same way pass it on to their children. That's not what God wanted. God, who created this beautiful world with the beautiful people who were good in His sight, were enough, were loved by Him. Then came sin and alienation from God. This sin of envy already appeared in the second generation. Alienation from God. Cain believed he was wrong and became envious. God's love and perfect acceptance is the answer to this dilemma. Nobody in this world can give us this acceptance, unconditional acceptance. We are all sinners, but we are in good hands with God, in the best of company. God, who is love, whose being only speaks love, deep, full love. This God says yes to you. He knows everything about you, every weakness, every sin, every lie, every mistake, your unbelief, your hatred, your rebellion, just everything. And yet He says an unconditional yes to you. Does He base His acceptance and His perception of whether you are beautiful and lovable on how pure your skin is, how thin your hair is, how many kilos the scale shows, how successful you are in your job, how big your house is? Absolutely not. God's acceptance doesn't base it on that. He sees your being, your wonderful being that He has created, which is so complex, with your creative thoughts, intellectual thoughts, ideas, humor, your heart, your joy, your great unique personality with your preferences and ideas that no superficial externality can compensate. If you deal alone with the science of the eye, how an eye is structured and made, you will be blown away by the fascination of the eye. And that's just one part of your body. Your whole body, your being, your personality, character, and everything that defines you is a masterpiece. And what do we do as a society? We reduce the whole person, this complex masterpiece, to a few wrinkles on the face or how many things you can buy. That's what the lie from the enemy does to God's loved ones. Yes, man is God's dearest. Every person who lives and has ever lived, billions of people, as unique as each person is and was, is completely loved and accepted by God. We can all work on our weak spots, which can help us to be prouder of ourselves. But that doesn't change our lovability with God. God is our dear Creator, our Father, our Papa, who loves us so much and always wants us to be with Him, because we're so valued in His sight that He would rather die Himself for you, for me, so that we may be saved and our debts paid, so that He may have us with Him for eternity. This sacrifice speaks of deepest love and acceptance. So let's learn to rethink. If a negative thought comes into your head about yourself, replace it with the truth. And yet, I'm exactly right and loved. Do this 100 times a day, over and over again, and you will see it will change you, change your life. And God looks with you in your reflection and smiles and says to you, yes, my child, you're wonderful, just like you are, and I love you. Believe the truth, believe God, and feel loved. Be blessed.